Welcome to Geology 101 Laboratory. My name is Dr. Scott Nowicki, and I will also be teaching this class. Hopefully you've already been to the Geology 101 page and you have some introductory materials there. Let us quickly go over what is expected in the laboratory. So if I click on the syllabus, all the information that you need for the entire term is listed there. Of course, there's my contact information. There are two teaching assistants that will be doing a lot of the grading for the labs. They are Erica Lamelli and Susie Williams. There is, of course, no textbook for this lab. Instead, however, you actually need to obtain this rock and mineral kit. So hopefully everyone has the rock and mineral kit. It should have been required for the course. Otherwise, everything that we are going to do on this course is entirely within Web Campus. An important piece of information is that you're going to need some required software in order to do these labs. First of all, you're going to need some word processing software. If you do not have Microsoft Word, you can download OpenOffice, available free at openoffice.org. It works just like Word. It's fantastic software. You're also going to need to use Google Earth, and the link is relatively simple. If you just search for Google Earth, it should be fairly obvious. So the way that this is going to work is this laboratory is worth 25% of your Geology 101 grade. All the numbers that we're looking at here, this 100% at the bottom is the 25% of your 101, your 4-credit 101 score. So there are pre-lab quizzes, there are these lab assignments that you have to do, there's a research forum posting, and then these post-lab quizzes. So for every lab, you are going to need to take a pre-lab quiz that will open up the lab for you. You're going to actually have to do the assignment and write up a document, and you're going to have to post at least twice in the research forum, followed by a post-lab quiz once you've done the lab and done the write-up. Some important information is that in order to pass Geology 101, the 4 credits, you need to get a passing grade 60% or higher in this laboratory course. Number 2, if you do not do 3 or more laboratories, you will automatically fail, even if you get 100% for all the other laboratories. And a submitted lab will only be graded if the student has made some effort in order to actually do all the exercises. So you can't just open up the document, fill it in with some random information, and assume that you're going to get points. So you will effectively get a 0 if you don't work your way through the lab and do a decent amount of work on it. There are no makeups, of course, without an official university excuse, and of course there is no extra credit. The main thing that you need to do is, first of all, you will have to take a pre-lab quiz in order to open up each individual lab. That's relatively straightforward. It's a simple quiz. The second part is you actually have to go through and do the lab assignment. Once you've done the lab assignment, there is one specific activity in each lab assignment that requires some amount of discussion. And so there is a discussion forum that is open that you need to post into. You have to post effectively your ideas or your thoughts about a specific topic, and then you've got to comment on other people's topics. Now, following the discussion forum and submitting your lab assignment, that's when you have enough information that you can actually take this post-lab quiz. The things that you're really going to want to watch out for are that you start the lab well ahead of time. Since the lab is due by Sunday at 10 p.m., make sure that you start Monday or Tuesday and take the quiz and open up the lab so that you have plenty of time to do it. If you attempt to start this a couple of hours before it's due, you're likely to run out of time. Not only that, but you will not have time to post to the discussion board. So you have to do these things at least a full day ahead before it's actually due. So that's pretty important to start early in the week. And then second is, as soon as you finish the lab, I would suggest going to the discussion forum and posting your first post. The faster you can get into that discussion forum, the more likely there is to be interaction that would help you in your submission. Of course, the most important thing we need to talk about is the schedule. And the way that it works is every week the lab will open up on Monday at midnight, and then it closes at 10 p.m. on Sunday, which means that between that Monday and Sunday, you're going to need to take the quiz to open up the lab, do the lab, post to the discussion board, submit your write-up, and then finally take the quiz. There are a bunch of things that you need to do. So starting out early in the week, getting through at least a couple of those activities is the best way to do it. If you wait until the last day, you're going to run into trouble. These labs correspond to the weeks in the term that you don't have an exam. So you'll notice that there is a gap that occurs From 9:13 to 9:15 is igneous rocks 3, and then there's a gap between the 15th and the 23rd. That is when you're taking exam number 1 in Geology 101 lecture. And then there's another gap 3 labs later, so that each week gap corresponds to the exams that you're doing in Geology 101. There are 11 total labs, and the last one will be due this second to the last week of classes.